Good afternoon, or actually good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Scam Likely Show. We're talking about professionalism. Let me remove sunglasses for all the pretty ladies out there so you can see the beautiful eyes. Today's topic, professionalism. This will be, I guess it was a three-part series. We're going to talk about networking and business relationships. Like I say, this is a communication and solution-based channel. We're going to talk about communication always. And we're going to try to demonstrate effective communication, active listening, and everything. And in the process, any business, anything, even in your personal life, you're going to need a network of people. You're going to need to be working and dealing with people, which means there will be some networking. And on a long term, there will be relationships. How are you going to work with people for business, work, job, personal, nonprofit, profit? We're going to talk about some of those skills. First of all, shout out to, and I'll shout them out when I see them if they come join us tonight, Just Jay and M Mills. They loved my last week's show when we talked about interviewing. And shout out to Jedi Mike. Has an interview today. So he might pop on a little bit later, but the reason is he has an interview. So I'm glad that I was able to do something that was beneficial to other people. Shout out, welcome Eugene Steele. Welcome to the show. Jedi Mike is on an interview right now. That's some good stuff. I hope those who didn't see last week, I talked about a couple of things. One, being prepared, knowing what some of the basic questions are they're going to ask you. Don't fail under those three questions. Shout out Adrian Nicole. That's the proper greeting. Dust. Good luck to M Mills. Good luck to Jedi Mike who are on the interviews. Hopefully we were able to benefit them in some kind of way. Shout out to Easy Money Jones also. He came through, dropped a lot of nuggets, helped a lot. What's good, Manic Genius? Let me give you a wrench. I know who you are. Jedi. Yeah, if you want to come up a little bit later, or if you want to come up and talk about the interview, hey, take your time. And you can come up and show that suit, because if you got an electric suit with a battery pack on the back that's lime green, come on, and I'm gonna roast you. Because I had a clean suit on and they roasted me on the first show about men and women working together. I was looking clean. They heartless. Welcome, Sugar Bomb. Welcome. There is a network. Speaking of networking, we have a network full of trolls. We have the Trolling 60s. We got the Trolluminati. So those of you who want to enhance your troll game and learn how to take shots and get people to break down off the panel, talk to Sugar Bomb. Send her a message or have her back when they start coming for her in the chat. She brutal. But me personally, she used to troll me. But I decided, you know what? I could keep trolling and going back and forth, or why not just join her? Jesse, welcome to the show. And welcome to the show. Welcome, Terica Smith.
What's good? What's going on?
What's going on? I got a solid professional next to me. I'm business casual for today. Talking about networking and business relationships.
Great topic, man.
Be honest, sophisticated jerk. High-level executive. That's a good person. I'm actually proud and I appreciate you being in my network. Just being honest. Married, established, professional. Hey, cool stuff.
Nah, I appreciate you, man. I think this is good, man. I was listening to you talk about Jedi Mike, man. So that's good that he's definitely like to get his perspective on that interview and stuff like that. But yeah, I sent the last live to my son because he's been, he's prepping for some interviews and stuff. So I definitely helped him and a couple of friends. So I sent it to them that were going through interview processes, and they hit me back and they were like, hey, I'm glad y'all. Actually, one of my friends, he hit me up today. I was just talking to him. He was like, where you were breaking down, like, get there early, take Metro. Cause he was like, look, if I didn't listen to that and map that stuff out, he was like, I would have been lost. So it definitely helped a couple people.
I give you a true story. I don't remember which interview this was. I had an interview for a spot that was in DC off of LaFont Plaza. And I wore that suit. I was glowing in the dark. And it was hot. It was DC hot in like July or August.
So yeah, you were sweating through the armpits, the back sweat.
I couldn't figure out which exit to come out of in LaFont, went out the wrong one, had to go back to the metro. By the time I got to that interview, I was only 3 minutes on time, I had 3 minutes left. My bald head was sweating so bad that the lady, do you know there's a bathroom right here? I already knew. I blew it. I was sweating to death. Like, it was bad. But truth, responsibility was on me. I didn't show up early. I didn't properly prepare. So yeah. Networking. Actually, I'm gonna start with something simple. If you're meeting somebody, this is just a recommendation. You're meeting somebody, you know what you do, and then you know what you may need from another person. You're on the basketball court, you're at the mall. Somebody, hey, that's a nice shirt. You just start talking, and then you find out they are some type of professional. Do you have like a 30-second or 1 minute commercial, maybe even 10 seconds, a commercial of who you are and what you do? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, no. So they're asking me kind of what I do at that moment.
Like, say you run across somebody who's in your field, another senior level executive, and you see they could be a mentor, they could be an asset to you. Do you have like a quick commercial? Like, hey, so what do you do? Do you have like a quick commercial that just knocks out what you do and possibly how you can benefit them or whatever?
Yeah, no, definitely. Usually I just kind of tell them, I'm like, because I'm in acquisition and procurement. So I tell them, I start breaking that down a little bit. So I'll be like, hey, I'm in acquisition. Here's my role. We deal with contracts and stuff. So, a lot of times we're dealing with like vendors and companies that's trying to get into the government space. So, I just kind of start mentioning that. And then a lot of times, that's when they perk up, because then they'll be like, well, we are trying to get some government contracts. You got so, it starts that whole dialogue somewhat. Or, like you were kind of starting off, when I'll ask them what they do. And, then I just show that interest in kind of what they do. And then, of course, they start asking. And then, we just, like I said, I break it down at them in acquisition and, procurement, kind of what agencies I've been at and stuff like that. And so, a lot of people kind of, especially in this area, they're interested in government contracts. So it just leads into like, kind of what things they could target, as far as like the solicitation, RFP and all that stuff, strategic sourcing. So yeah, not so much like a 30-second pitch, but definitely like you're kind of like trying to hone in it, learn how to communicate your job in a short period of time, get to the point, and know how to highlight, I guess, like the top stuff in your career field.
Yeah, I just mentioned it because people who do stuff, certain positions or certain businesses, that they're trying to market what they do one way or another. Real estate agent, which everybody knows, you're a real estate agent. You buy and sell houses. But people who got these customized businesses or special job and are looking to network with people, they go to events, they meet somebody. Hey, so what do you do? They don't want to hear somebody saying, well, I'm not, I'm just, I work in the back, but like, make it sound interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm the second lead assistant. Really, you 3 levels down from the president. Yeah, I'm the assistant to the manager of this such and such department. Make it sound like something. Like, make it sound like something where you can actually benefit them. Like, But yeah, but I'll get to that later. Teamwork is mandatory. Let's be real. You can't do this by yourself. Just like Sugar Bomb. She's a troll. She's roasting in the chat right now. She got 5 trolls already firing shots at me and Jerk. It's teamwork.
What's up, Travel One?
Oh, yeah, Travel One already firing off at us. Salute to Travel One. Welcome to the show. DB, Terica Smith, Sugar, I see y'all. With working with others, you need teamwork, you need communication, and you need networking skills. Jerk, give me an example of some networking skills, just in your opinion.
Well, I'll say one of the biggest things when it comes to networking is it kind of ties into being resourceful. So like, I always stay in contact with my peers, especially ones that's like, I'll say pretty ambitious. So like, especially in the DC area, everybody typically, they're going to go to different agencies, companies and stuff like that. So you definitely want to stay tuned with those individuals and stuff, because especially like a lot of times, like I deal with like a lot of policies and stuff like that. So, I have to reach out to a lot of agencies, be like, hey, how did you interpret this? What are you guys rolling out for, to address this policy right here? So, a lot of times it helps streamline like a lot of my work, because I do have that network, like you said. So it does like, it will save my agency a lot of time, because, like you make the wrong steps with some of these policies, it could definitely catch you up. So I think networking is very critical. And, just like you said, when you work with individuals, you just always carry yourself with that respect, stay in tune with people. That's the second thing, know where they're at, shoot them like an email every once in a while.
I got you, Manic. Continue.
So yeah, that's pretty much I'll say how you start building the foundation for that network.
Welcome to the stage.
Hey.
Another professional, the Manic Genius. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all coming. Being resourceful is good. Like you were saying, I like that example. You do what you do, they do what they do in policy. There's going to come a time where you're going to need your policy person. Might be crunch time. You need to know what you can and can't do, what changed, or some sort of something from them. But another thing I was going to add is being an asset to the other person.
There you go.
I could call and Manic, man, come do this show with me, man. Jerk, get on my panel. Jerk, get on my panel. Yeah. What do y'all need from me, though? If y'all need something, let me know. I got you.
But
write that down, Manic.
Yeah.
We're going to apply pressure if you don't live up to it.
Well, let them know what you may can do, or let them know that you're at least there and you're willing to support them as you, before just asking them to be a part of your network. They're going to need something. And it just so happens offline, I don't have a job according to the chat in most of these panels. I'm unemployed, but indirectly work in the same field. I'm a core, so y'all know.
Okay.
But some way, we've done forms of purchasing and something to do with budget for the government. So just so happens the agency I work for is hiring, and they're desperate for contracting people. Desperate. And I believe they're 100% remote. I'm just saying.
I might have to take that up.
Yeah. I don't know about senior executives, but yeah. So that could be a conversation offline. Just saying.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of opportunities, and I like what you're kind of going with it, because now I kind of caught on even more. Where it's just like, I think a lot of times, like, and you're kind of highlighting it, I think people go into like, when they think of a network, it's like, what can I take from every situation? And like, I kind of see what you were asking, like, hey, how do you pitch yourself? Because when you do pitch yourself, it should be like, hey, how can I can help you out in this manner? If you ever need anything, hit me up, and stuff like that. So I definitely agree with you when you're highlighting that, because yeah, it should be like, I can shout out to Travel Boy, man.
Yeah.
But it's just like, like I could add on to you, and, definitely like, they should kind of reach out to you. You don't just go like, hey, can you do this for me? Is let them like offer that up. So yeah, I definitely like what you were talking about.
Yeah. And be responsible. People looked out for you. Make sure you look out for them on the back end one way or another. You will get kicked out their network. Be dependable. Your name means everything when it comes to networking. What you can do, be competent, be dependable. And of course, this whole panel is always going to be communication and solution based.
Yeah.
That's not going to change.
I like how you got the background music going on, man. It's kind of fly.
Yeah,
that's what's doing his thing over here. Yeah. That's what I told us last time.
Yeah, part of my network, I reached out about a year ago. Jay Speed does comedy. Found out he's a comedian. Actually, me and him were arguing on a panel or something. And he was arguing and all animated. I thought he was serious. He was like, hey, man, come on now. I'm a comedian, man. And he got me so good. I'm like, man, I need to learn how to do that. Yeah. I reached out to him on the back end about a year ago. He helps me troll. all the animation and voices and stuff. I learned some of that from him, or he taught me how to do it and be animated. But yeah, speaking of networking,
yeah, and being resourceful.
But he's teaching me stuff about how to run the channel. Salute to J Speed. And why I got so much respect for him is because it's not like he wants something from me. He helps me out because he wants to see me do something for somebody else. Just like it's lovely to hear that, like y'all just said, M. Mills, she's not here today. She had an interview last week, a phone interview, and said our show was very beneficial. So thank you, J Speed. Help me run the channel and be able to do something beneficial to the others. Appreciate you.
And that's dope that you're giving them credit, man. Because that's one thing I see like that's hard for a lot of people is like giving people credit in real time. You know, for some reason, typically men too, man. We think like it's a sign of weakness for not giving somebody their flowers and stuff like that. So I think that's dope that you mention them like that, because I hear them always talking and trying to mentor people, and you know, people be cutting them off and stuff, and it kind of falls in line that he's helping you out and stuff like that, because he seemed like he is big in helping out others.
And salute to Easy Money Jones. I appreciate you last week. You brought some real fire, like for real.
Yeah, you did.
I got another young professional, and Travel One. Don't tell me he's out of order too. Like, what's the standard? This dude. All right, I'll be the out of order guy. But this dude just got married.
GQ in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Flex on him. Stunt for the camera.
I'm trying to give you the big.
Oh, let me get
one more time for the ladies. For the ladies in the back. Ladies and gentlemen. He's not single and ready to mingle or nothing, but he'll still take cash apps. Jedi Mike. His name used to be Sexual Chocolate, but yeah. Jedi Mike, how's the interview?
Oh, went great. Actually, the person I was in the interview with was a George Mason alma mater, so alumni. So yeah, that was like, it went good, went great.
How'd you know that they were your alma mater? How'd you bring that out of them? Or did you like look for any like indicators?
It was through Zoom, and I said I'm in Fairfax, Virginia, and it's like, yeah, I went to Mason, I went to GMU. I'm like, I went to GMU too. Oh my god. You know.
What do we got to do to win over the trolls, man? What do we got to do?
His wife is perfect. But anyway, the one thing, also, I didn't want me to cut anybody off. If everyone doing good.
No, you're good.
Professionalism. That's one of the guidelines and the standard they had before. You know, we were able to get on camera and everything through Zoom. Because there were multiple people on there. Yeah, it was one thing that I got a text afterwards when I was driving back home. Was the lady that was running the interview say, "You did a very good job. I'll see you soon." So then everything went well though. But again, you go into that. I was the only person really that had a actual suit jacket or something, not just no white button down or anything like that. And it's turtleneck season, but yeah, it was good though. You have to stand out in some way. Make sure it's a good one.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So when you start,
hopefully you get that call back saying, well, salary wise, we usually don't pay but $16 an hour, but we're going to offer you a blank check. I mean, hopefully that comes soon.
We'll see.
What type of position was it for?
It was in the Film Critic Association. That was just a position where I'm able to just do more media press and outreach and everything, but it's only like certain people they'll allow in and stuff. So yeah, I was able to get into that. So the opportunity for someone that's already part of that critic association, they put my name out there, so I was able to get an interview set up. So
hey, travel one, I never thought about that.
Yes.
And you are correct. I never thought about that.
Thank you. There's things that are distracting in the background. Like, I'll never do an interview with this in the back. I wouldn't, but It is, well, is it like whether even there's some things that they have a feature just out of focus, depending if you can't, if you're just in a certain area, whatever, and there's some around you, they can put you out of focus, at least the background out of focus and just center on you. That's still something. But yeah, again, this one situation where pure white actually comes in handy in the workplace.
I think, I don't know. When I was in Maryland, I know it was nothing in the background. Maybe the couch you could eventually see. I never, that's something I should know. Thank you.
Now you can have something in the background. I mean, it just has to be professional. So like if you have like you have your camera set up to where you have like a bookshelf or a bookcase, just make sure you have like if they can actually see the books, make sure it's something that's not inappropriate.
Always buy those fake books. Makes you look more intelligent.
Fake books you can just place up there. Yeah.
Let me shift a little bit towards the doom and gloom side for a second.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So Jedi Mike, you just been hired by a sophisticated jerk and Manic genius. He's your supervisor. Manic is supervisor next to him, so you kind of co-work with both of them. There'll be some networking. You're going to be working with some people. What are some things that y'all would suggest? And popcorn style, whoever answers, just answer. Who would you advise him? Or what people you would advise him to avoid and people you'd advise him to put in his network?
I advise people to be to keep people that are people of the word, and to get rid of folks who are not at least consistent or consistent in their word. What I mean by that is saying, there are people say, hey, I'm lazy, and they are consistent at being lazy. But so like but there are people that say, I'll be there on time. To be early is to be on time. And and then you see that consistency and say, okay, that's who they are. Again, if you complain, what I mean by this is like not saying you can address issues or problem at the job, but if you always complaining about how the job sucks and you're talking about other employees that you don't like working with, I'll try to keep my distance from you. Because that's how some trickling with rumors, gossip, and all stuff, and HR be knocking on your door the next day, be like, hey, so I'll be hearing some things. And there's
complainers. That's probably
Right.
number one on the list.
Yes. So that's just a few.
I would say look for productive people. Like when you're going into the organization, you don't want to go up to, like, I'll say, your supervisors and stuff first. So you'll find that person, say like if they have team leads or somebody that's like like that's pretty senior, but not in that, like, I'll say, management lane, because you don't want to look like a suck up yet. So you want to get around productive people, get to that, like the senior professionals that's somewhat your peers that are, like I said, got their stuff together, like, and what Jedi Mike was saying, that's not negative, and kind of start picking their brain, because what tends to happen is it's like when you kind of start doing a good job, you're positive, they'll start marketing you to like the management. Look, like those people go like, oh, this person's great, we need to try to get them in our group. So they start spreading the word for you. So I think that's how you kind of should start networking, where you're just jumping up in everybody's face. Because I've seen a lot of people that do that. They'll go straight to the management, and it kind of makes it awkward for them, because they don't want to have the appearance of like favoritism and stuff. So it's just like, let it happen organic. Don't just go rush up to them, but get with your peers and start being just positive around there and productive. And I think that's a good way to kind of start building that network out.
Oh, this is another thing I just say for terms of my age, being the youngest person, is that I have this saying that I'd rather be look like a fool for a minute than be a fool for a lifetime. And what I mean by that is that someone that doesn't ask questions, and because I don't want to ask questions, this might be a stupid question, might make me look dumb. I'd rather ask the question for the second of looking like I don't know what I'm doing, instead of a lifetime me not knowing what I'm doing. Right. And that goes into someone swallowing their pride. If I don't know something, I'm going to tell you, but the initiative and the proactive sense of it, saying, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know the solution to this problem, but I'm gonna bet your ass, I do everything I can to find an answer in a timely fashion, and that's just really it. It just, because because I think again pride really comes into a lot of decisions that we don't like to do things that make us look a certain way. So then we either lie about, oh yeah, well he did that, whatever. That's why this situation. Like, no, this was my bad. Taking accountability, saying, listen, hey, I screw up on this situation. Let me fix it, and then we can go from there. Again, people just make some actions based off how they just want to know if someone can perceive me a certain way. If I don't give them the right answer, or I might look like I didn't have the answer to the situation.
Welcome, penis.
Bingo, right.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because we had to turn in a bunch of, I'll say, projects and stuff. And then like I had to get on somebody because I was just like, man, why didn't you ask any questions and stuff? So I mean, Jedi Mike's correct on that. It's like, you know what, ask them questions, make sure you get clarification on things. Because sometimes, your whoever your supervisor is might not be clear on the objective. So it's just like, yeah, don't try to think you're gonna look dumb and play into that. Be right, like he was saying. So I just wanted to piggyback off of that.
Yeah. I've had the luxury, I guess, to, be in a couple different offices and bureaus and, really get a sense of very different management styles. So I think the most beneficial management style for me, and this is what I would employ on any subordinates that come under me, would be, first to get a real one-on-one and kind of like find out what their skill set is, kind of like their personality. And, to align them up with success, I would match them up with somebody who's, like the jerk said, a high performer at not necessarily the management level, but a high actually performer worker, like the type of style of job that they would be doing. And then I would, see how they take to that person. And then I'd rotate them to somebody else with a different style, kind of let, give them a better understanding of, there's like a baseline of what everybody's going to do, but allowing them to get that opportunity to see different styles and different, like everybody has their own unique, sense of doing things a certain way. So allowing them to get a feel for everybody's different style, and they can pick apart from the different people that they're experiencing that with, and then they'll just have a better understanding of the overall process.
So can I ask you a question?
You're putting them in different groups.
What's that?
Great. That's a good thing if you're mentoring, you're putting them in different groups.
Yeah.
People can get complacent, get fixed, and then they perform like a little click or kind of stay in that box if you let them.
And then sometimes, a lot of times, people who haven't got a chance to learn under different people, they could be trained wrong. So when something goes bad, it's like, oh, I didn't know to do that. I've never done that throughout my entire career. And, it's just a step that this person, like to skip. So when you allow them to go to different people and learn under different people, it kind of makes them a little bit more well-rounded.
Yeah.
Can I respond to that recent comment?
Which one?
The one he's saying that it might be the staff must feel that they can't ask questions. No, it's actually the contrary. I think also, fear is the mind killer. It's just people are just afraid of just being perceived like I don't have the answer to this particular question or situation. So even when the workplace is inviting an environment like, ask questions, they still don't want to, because they still want to be known as the one. Oh yeah, I can get everything, the first time I do it and everything like that. So I'm not gonna ask question if I don't know, and if I do, the root of it is based in insecurity, not in terms of that that you don't have a job. I'm not saying job insecurity meaning like you can't get a job. I mean you're insecure in the position that you are right now, just trying to come up. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, asking question can go two ways. I hire a new person, they work for me. I'm going to put the material, not necessarily materials. I'm going to put them in an environment where the policies and procedures and everything is in place. I'm going to show them how to go and find answers. I don't want somebody asking me questions that are right there in the manual that's sitting right next to them on their desk. The questions I want to know is, hey, on page 36, it says this. I was doing this yesterday and it says that. That means they're doing the work. I don't want them to just come ask me the question and they didn't even look at or didn't read like procurement. There's a purchase card manual. You need to read that manual. Don't not read the purchase card manual and start asking me about every purchase. We're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
So it can go two ways.
Yeah, and just to piggyback directly off what Desto just said, I disagree with Travel One. There is absolutely such thing as a stupid question, and it kind of goes in line with Desto. If it's like, I feel like you should absolutely ask the questions if you're confused. But with that being said, there are stupid questions, and you read your paperwork, read your manual, make sure that you are up to speed with what's going on before you blindly open your mouth. Because sometimes your question will be revealed a little bit later if you just pay attention.
Yeah, going back to the original question, going over to the doom and gloom territory. There are some people you should avoid, and you don't want them in your network, and you don't want to be a part of their network either. We'll just put it out there like that. Number one is the doom and gloom mafia. You get to a job or a business or organization for nonprofit, and everything they say, the pastor was sleeping with that woman in the front row. Or, man, they stealing money. I don't know why he's still working here. See, he was sleeping with. Don't put them in. Stay away from those people. Because just like even panels, there are dust panels. They are very entertaining. But on a whole, there's people who just hate women. I don't know why. They're 50% of the population are women, and they hate them. But the same people run together, and they sit in the same corner and beat up on women all. You don't want to be a part of that. It works the same way in real life. Watch the people you put in your network. And if that's a part of your network, something is wrong with you, but something is wrong with them. Get around some different people. But good thing that Manic says if he's mentoring somebody, he rotates them around to different groups. They pick up different things. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Go ahead. Somebody was about to say something.
I was going to ask you early. Oh, go ahead, Jedi.
No, I was confused. Was the question in terms of us networking in this space, YouTube space, or was it like
networking in general? Okay. In general, YouTube, church, profit, nonprofit, dust panels, business. For those of you who are CEOs, yeah, it's talking about people to avoid. I'll also say incompetent people. If I see you hanging around people don't know what they're doing, I assume you don't know what you're doing either. Let's be real.
You just got.
Yeah, I definitely would say stay away from like gossip and negative people. Because it's easy to get sucked in. I mean, we're all human. I ain't gonna lie, I've done it before. But if you want to be timely and you want your stuff in order and you just want to be that type of person people want to pull into their networks and stuff. Yeah, you just got to kind of learn how to like stay away from that stuff. Man, again in trouble.
Travel One, what we got to do, man? We're professional. He's married. Jedi is married. What we got to do to meet this standard?
Travel One, give us a pass. Come on, Travel.
And Love C, I appreciate you. You're one of the people that's actually keeping me in this game. Real talk. This guy. Come on.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm with easy on this. I try to get the gossip from like afar. You don't want to be directly into it, but you have that person that you could trust. Like, hey, what's going on out there? And they deliver you some gossip. So you just gotta be tactful with it. But you don't want to be the person like receiving it firsthand.
Yeah.
I like what you said, tactful. Initially, when you're new, gossip goes one way. You hear it, you receive it, you don't put it back out.
Yeah. It stops with you.
Here. Then now I know Manic works on the first floor. He told me something. I know him because we went some. Now I can tell him something. Now we can both talk because of some trust. But I ain't gonna go the second week. He told me about something, and then I'm already into the garbage. No. Because then it's gonna be some cute woman. She gonna want me and don't want him. Now we got a problem. She don't want me. I mean, look how this works.
Yeah, you want to be
Or
sticking to third hand gossip. That's what you want.
If you're not built for the gossip game, just stay out of it. Or let it go one way, nod your head, and get out of there. You're a bad influence.
So can I ask you a quick question real quick? And this is for the rest of y'all too, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Do you think there's too much networking? You think that could like be harmful to a certain degree?
Yes. Okay. Nobody knows you. Nobody's going to bother you. Nobody can attack you. But if everybody knows you, you're the life of the party, you got too many people coming, too much traffic, too many questions, too much, that can be a problem. Now you can't establish yourself or go hide and focus on stuff. Your name keeps coming up. Is he single? Is he married? Is he this? Is he going to the happy hour? Is he going to do this? Where's he at? So possibly, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Manic, our Jedi? Yeah, I think networking could kind of be detrimental to a certain degree if you do too much of it.
Absolutely. And Dusto kind of mentioned it. If you're being pulled every which way, we all have the same amount of time each day in 24 hours. So if I knew a person who was very involved in every single group, and it was like I would be just so impressed. I'm like, hey man, you're into everything. But when you overcommit, you start to neglect things that you really should be focusing on. So definitely too much networking can become a distraction.
Yeah, y'all drop your links in the chat.
All right, we'll definitely put it in there.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't mention last time. Sophisticated Jerk, Manic Genius, and even Jedi Mike. They do movie reviews. These are and they also have their own shows that are anti-dust. We know y'all love the dust panels, but if you want to find something that's productive, positive, real conversation from real decent people, subscribe to their channels. Yeah, drop it in the chat.
I would say there is a con of being popular in the workplace, especially networking and the way you network in terms of you getting really involved with particular folks is like, yeah, that you can draw a line where a boundary might be crossed, especially in terms of information now, to a point of, I think I made this mistake before. I mean, especially coming in school, you seem like you're the popular person that you're outgoing, you're funny and everything, but everyone's coming to you with their stuff. Then what ends up happening? You tend to blur the lines. Like, wait, who information was this? Wait, are you the one sleeping with Boston White? Oh, sorry, that was the accountant. Oh man. No, sorry. That was people I estimated, not you. You forget what I just said. You see what happens is a mistake because you are one being, you're one entity. There's only so much information you can take in 24 hours or over a given time of week, right? With multiple different people. And again, as much as you have one filter, everyone has a breaking point. Like they're saying, look, I know so much stuff that I'm already distracted from what I'm doing. So there's a line of saying I want to be known, but you don't need to know me other than my position, my work, and my personality. Hey, if you can work with me, cool. Even though I'm doing a job, good. If the product coming out good, great. Hey, what was your things that turn you on when you're in bed? Nah. You know what I mean? So I got that covered.
Now,
shout out to Sherelle.
Just a suggestion, especially youngsters new into the field. Get a mentor. A lot of places that you might work have mentoring programs. I suggest for younger men, actually men and women, I'll just say it. You want someone older than you and you want them to be married, preferably with children. There'll be a level of maturity. There'll be a level of they've already mentored because they're doing it every day in their own households. But those tend to be the best and most influential for success mentors. A few years older, or maybe a lot of years older, married, children. Women, go find you somebody who is a female who is preferably married, and preferably one who has some form of an opposite personality trait than you do. Any suggestions?
I guess for me, like, I try to get mentors. I mean, I guess mentor my friends. You know, I feel like some of these panels are people are mentors. They just don't realize it. But like people that I know that can hold me accountable, and like for example, in the movie space and movie journalism, I already have a mentor, like someone who's in like Rotten Tomatoes and also in part of different other critic associations and stuff like that. And I was watching them since I was in middle school. Now I work with him and that platform now. But then he helped me establish my own stuff now, to a point where I was able to have my foot in the door to get in XYZ like today, right? And again, it goes to the point of he's also married, has 2 children, but also the same values that I have, whether faith wise or just like morals, whatever that is for you. So I think is like, yeah, that's what I think I try to have to keep me centered, because for me just to do this walk of life on my own, not just marriage, but like career and other stuff, and I'm trying to do, just build me as a more efficient man. I can't do that by myself.
Yeah,
But one suggestion I would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jerk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just piggybacking off what you guys are breaking down. Like, I think when you build that network out, do not add in people that you low key like probably want to hook up with. I've seen a lot of people that they start pulling in people that they will low key want to date, and that's the worst thing, because that's when you start crossing those blurred lines. And Jedi Mike was kind of hitting on that also. So yeah, keep it strictly work. And what you're mentioning, Dusto, like the happy hours. Be careful with them happy hours.
Dangerous.
Get you 1 or 2 beverage when you do a network. Don't try to get sloppy drunk. But just be respectful and go there real quick and dip out.
Go to be social. Shit can't get there early, but by round 2 and round 3, get the hell up out of there.
Yeah.
I just had this Friday. I'm not even lying. Quick story. Went there. I wasn't even planning on going, because I was like, we had like this cookout wherever right behind the office and stuff like that. Everyone went to the restaurant right across the street. And I was like, I mean, I don't want to go, but I've got to leave early, so I might have an excuse to say, I'm going to happy hour so I can head out. Get there. They didn't thought I was going to show up. I was like, yeah, whatever. So I get there. All of a sudden, the guys are drinking at the end. The girls are drinking end of the table and stuff, right? And all of a sudden, one glass broke, and I was like, okay, right, and they cleaned it up. But all of a sudden, the second glass broke. That was my out to get out, and then I was out before the third one broke. So that's basically when I have a sign. I'm like, listen, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. And this is one of the reasons why I'm like, listen, maybe am I just a prune that I just don't like happy hours, like other than like just have a conversation, hang out with y'all, but like I'm not. It's just. For me, I don't feel really comfortable drinking with my coworkers like that, because I just know what that invites. It's like, you want to go to a company event and dinner or whatever, and I'll bring my wife, great. I'll more gladly do that. But if I'm going to, to a bar with y'all for like 4 or 5 hours in the late night and stuff like that, we're drinking, and stuff like that. I don't know. I got a wife to go to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I just a prune? Is this turtleneck too tight?
No, you can actually bring your wife as a defense.
Yeah.
What?
You bring your wife as a defense. Like when you show up with the wife, that well, I don't know, because people are real out of control now.
Yeah, exactly.
But she can be your, I'm married, I have to leave. Just like that, be out. What do you think, Jerk? You're the married one, another married one on the panel.
Yeah, no, definitely. You gotta use any, like, I'll say, tactic to get up out of there and establish their comfort zone. So yeah, spouses, whatever, definitely a good tactic. Like, hey, she's got to roll out to this other function. So yeah, it definitely works. Like you said, it's like, man, you gotta have that exit plan sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any one way to do it. Like, I mean, it's good advice to like play the calm and it's always good advice to play the observationist type role. So you should always, whenever you're going to a happy hour, under any circumstances, you should kind of observe how other people are doing it and what's like the vibe. Because I've been to some happy hours with some high level people, and if they turn up, then we turning up. I'm turning up with them. But I mean, there's going to be limitations to that. There's going to be limitations to that because people want to be around who are like them. So you just have to be careful with, I mean, if you're too prudish or if it's not your thing, yes, dip out of there early, because when it actually does turn up and you're sitting there just still, I mean, people might start looking at you funny and you're going to feel that social pressure, especially in certain environments to engage in whatever type of activities that's going on. So I would just say, find your comfort zone and just be aware of the circumstances that you're in. Because I'll just share one little story. I seen one dude just completely turn up and forget that he was at work, and he was an IT guy. And next thing you know, there was like a reorganization, and his job had to fall under somebody else. And they were just like, wait, we love this guy. Matter of fact, we want to hire him on a retainer. So he was booked on a double contract. So he was making twice the amount of money from like a certain time period, just because they really enjoyed, how he operated. And this was a turn up, like, I'm getting wasted, drunk kind of guy, but super professional in the daytime. But the office just really loved this guy. So it actually worked out for him. He was making, he was making double.
1 out of 1,000.
I mean, he was married and he wasn't like touchy or feeling on any women or anything like that. So when it was just turn up, it was just turn up like he's just drinking.
What this is?
He said, "Yeah,
I don't know."
Company turn up happy hours. That's terrible advice.
World class. J Speed is DJing. I forgot what my next comment was. It's almost important. Then I know y'all gotta roll out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Easy Money put up a good comment, and I'm gonna speak to it too. When it comes to networking, dealing with people, mainly professional, but just people in general. Just because you're making your 6-figure, 6-pack, high value, you got to hire it as a high value man in some kind of way. Don't look down on the janitor, the forklift driver. Yeah, you're gonna meet them one day. Keep them in your network. They come absolutely too much, stuttering, blah 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 blah. The Pacers, man, the Indiana Pacers, man. Listen. One day you're gonna need an extra chair in your office. You're gonna need some paint done and something. You never know. Yeah. When I was a 4th grade teacher, I was nice to everybody. And sometimes stuff happens. One day I'm just teaching and talking to the kids and whatever. Then my stomach says, "Baloo, da. Stomach's starting to catch on. I'm scrambling, looking in the hallway. Hey, can you watch my class for me, man?" You talk about a murder. Oh, yeah. I got you. You just never know. It can be like that. But no, you also don't know who they know. So it can be the dude scraping grease on the floor, but their brother knows something that you made, something about a car. Your car breaks down next week. Next thing you know, you get 70% off. Got a new engine for $700. Yeah, y'all kind of get where I'm going.
You were a 4th grade teacher?
1 year and out.
Okay.
One and done. But no, they were having budget cuts anyway. That was the main thing. Like, hey, we're cutting 4 teachers at this school. Oh, don't let me go get the belt. Even negative reinforcement right about now. But no, You'll be surprised who somebody knows, and you'll be surprised when you'll actually need somebody and who you'll actually need. So try to take care of everybody.
Yeah, just before we head out, just if I can piggyback off of that, I think that's a good point because, man, a lot of times, like the janitor, the supply, they know that's the connect, the plug. You know, they know everything. They can hook you up. They take care of you. So I definitely think, man, you be respectful to everybody because, like he said, you don't even know who's related to who in a company. So yeah, just treat everybody with respect because a lot of times, like, that's how you do start building out that network. So I definitely like what you were saying with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you your final thoughts and where can we find you? What's your next show about?
Yeah, so you guys can find us at the Manic Sophistication channel. So we have a couple different, I'll say, shows that we do over there. We do movie reviews, like you mentioned before, and then we also have like a show where we talk about like it's all guys panel, but we talk about different topics and stuff. Try to add some comedy to it, nothing too crazy, but just capture everybody's different perspective, keep it respectful and stuff like that. So Dustin, we gonna definitely have to like tag up with you on that. You too, Jedi Mike. Love watching your shows. And even some of the people in the chat, I was watching Sherelle's show the other day. So she had a real great topic that she did. But yeah, I like what you're doing, bringing people together in a respectful manner and these different topics. So appreciate you for that, Dusto, having us over here.
Yeah, like I say, any content, if we say something you like, you're welcome to steal it, recycle it.
Oh yeah, we're definitely stealing everything.
Yeah. y'all got the blessing. Y'all decent people doing good things.
Yeah.
But let me drop you down and give Manic some final thoughts. Appreciate y'all coming through.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm still struggling with the StreamYard.
Nah, you good, man. You good, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me.
Out there, all the single ladies out there. Manic, he can be reached at 555. Now go ahead.
Now, I was just going to share my final thoughts. Like, that's an excellent point. Being kind to not just the janitors, but everyone that you come around, because it's not even on the sense of you might need them. It's just good to be positive to everybody that's around you because, you never know who's watching you. So maybe the janitor doesn't have any ties or no connections, but somebody sees the way you treat that person. It's just good to be a positive person overall, just in life. So that comes back around, tenfold. So if you treat people with, disrespect and, you have that negative energy around you, some people pick up on that and, you'll start blocking your blessings and less opportunities will come your way when you have that type of mentality and that like vibe and energy. So that's an excellent point that you made. And I definitely fully agree to that one. Final thoughts. This is a great conversation. I love the business oriented type conversations. So, whenever you have these type of topics or discussions, I'm always going to be game for it. So yeah, I'll be back. Thanks for having me.
Hey, appreciate you coming through. Manic Genius. And I think somebody dropped it in the chat. Manic Sophistication.
Yeah, Manic Sophistication.
I believe, yeah, their show is anti-dust. It's not messy. Actually solid content. That's why I brought them over here. Jedi Mike, final thoughts. We're gonna close out early. It's not gonna be a long show. Mm-hmm. And then I'll tell you about some of the stuff that's to come for the future. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jedi Mike, what you got?
No, thank you. Big screen. Yeah, thank you for having me as always. Now that it was a good conversation, definitely that was fruitful. I took something out of it, especially in today. But again, professionalism is also just a form of character. That is a form of respect you have, for people. So don't think that, again, blocking your blessings, will be surprised when you being professional, everyone else is casual. Might actually be a benefit, not just, I'm looking weird or something like that, right? And also, get out your own way. You feel something that's uncomfortable just because, I've never really been in a suit before, been, in this business setting before. This is uncomfortable. I don't want to change, but this is against my nature. But we have to understand as people, like, change is nature, right? So it's like, if you have a certain if you've basically continue a certain pattern of behavior at work and you're not liking, the outcomes, i.e. your dollar, then, it's time for change. So, and professionalism is a way to go to that. But yeah, thanks for having me. You can find me on YouTube at Jedi Mike 7. Again, I do reviews, interviews, and I coverage a bunch of things going in the movie industry and stuff like that. So definitely we'll be working with Sophisticated Jerk and everybody coming up soon. So make sure you guys tune out for that. But thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Jedi Mike. Another good show. I'm trying to keep it positive for now. We're trying to set the tone that, look, this is not a dust panel. We're not just going to sit and beat up, complain about women and all this other crazy stuff. And salute to the dust panels. Hey, I got 38 different personalities. Y'all see me acting a fool too. But foundationally, there's a need for better communication and we need solutions. Just to stuff that's going on. I'm just here to try to do a little bit of my part. However, this has been kind of mellow and smooth and everything. I'm about to crank up the heat in some of the next few shows. There'll be a little bit more controversy. I'm going to talk about positivity and negativity. Positive reinforcement versus negative reinforcement. It might not be a fun and simple show and simple conversation, but it needs to be had, so we're going to do it. I might start talking about or get some people, because I'm happen to be single, not married. We're going to talk about some of the actual relationship skills. Not them same talking points, not that stuff. We're going to talk about the real stuff. The stuff that people decided they don't want to talk about. Guess since they don't want to talk about, we're going to do it. We're going to talk about things about betterment of people, setting goals, changing the way that you think with action backing it up. Yeah, that means you got to get off that black ass. Some other stuff, trust me, is cool, but I can't tell you what it is. That's just a taste of what some of the stuff that we got coming for the future. And I'm going to put some of these together. But next, just be prepared. Positivity and negativity. We're going to find out who you are. We're going to find out what it's going to be about. I'm choosing positive. Now, over there, Dustin, yeah, you're going to see some whatever. But anything goes over there. But in real life, when you click this red X, who are you? Are you a negator? Is everything around you negative? Everything you say negative? Are the people around you negative? Or are you actually inspiring people to be better? Who are you? We're going to find out. But that might actually be 2-3 shows because we're going in. And if y'all got suggestions, well, one, hit the like button if you didn't hit the like button. Come on. I gave y'all some free game. Some of y'all some even interview advice that's going to make you some money. Hit the like button. That's the least you could do. Now, if you want to stuff my pockets, there's a Cash App. Just scrolling down across the bottom, Dustin Sphere. But also tune in for next week. I might even start doing a couple of pop-ups, but it's going to be a little bit different. Forgot my last point. It's going to come to me. It was actually important. What was my last point? That's a good point. Keep your jobs, plan, save, invest, gain assets, get out of debt, and make sure you travel. I cannot remember our last point, and it was so important. Anyway, more shows to come. Oh, if you have any ideas, I can be reached. Dustosphere. I'll put it on the chat. Where'd you see it scrolling? Dustosphere on IG. Send me a message. I like to see new faces, so I'll try to rotate some. You'll see a lot of the same people coming up, but I want some new faces too. This space will be fairly safe. We'll let you voice your opinion. We don't do all that over talking, slobbering on a microphone. Sometimes you don't have to be on camera, but we actually need to hear from you. That's all I got. Stay tuned, stay positive, and if you're a troll, stay dusty. I get it. I know how. Trust me, I know how it is. And we are out.